So I finally got a chance to watch Solo Leveling, and I gotta say this has to be one of my favorite animes of the year, next to Jujutsu Kaisen. Wow, what an impressive anime! I actually went through episode 1 through 12 in like one day, so it really captured a lot of what I enjoy of animes: the action, the fun, the pacing, the characters. Everything about it was really cool. So we follow this character named Sung Jin Woo, and Sung Jin Woo is a total badass. Even though he's considered the weakest out of everybody, they mention it so many times in the anime. You know, he's an A-class warrior, which is the lowest warrior you can be in this anime. Is really the underdog story that we all get to see. You know, it reminds me of Naruto when he was younger, or reminds me of different animes we've seen through time. Like, the elements of this show is definitely on the nose, but it has a different grit to it. There's a lot of stories that take from each other, and this one definitely does, and it gets inspired from many different animes. One of the animes I can think of right now is Sword Art Online, just kind of the gaming aspect of it all, because a lot of this anime has a lot of references to MMOs or RPGs when it comes to guilds or raiding dungeons. The whole world is surrounded by kind of like, if you're a video game enthusiast like I am, this is something that you're going to easily be attracted to. I think they attack a lot of these specific elements from gaming in not a cheesy way where it's like kind of goofy, but they actually take themselves serious, where that is something that I quite enjoy. We follow Sung in the beginning as he's, having a lot of difficulty even getting past anything, and he's surviving, to now at the end where he's, finally leveled up and he's doing everything by himself. So it's this gradual ascension to a better leveled up character, like how you would be playing a video game. And that's what I really enjoyed from it. I really like the elements of the guild aspect of it, people teaming up and how it could go bad or how it could go good. I think that you really utilize it in such a good way, and also a few episodes involving those situational things. One of the episodes where a guild gets two rookies, or what they think as rookies, and use them to like kind of use them as fodder to get their own way. In reality, it's like, you never want to underestimate people. I think we all done that where we joined the lobby, or where we joined a guild, and we kind of were the lowlings, or we kind of sucked in the game. We were kind of used as bait or pawns in the thing, so we could all kind of have a reference to that. But so it was actually cool that they attached a lot of this, was attacking a lot of different elements that you see in video games. Like I said earlier, that is one aspect that I quite enjoyed, is the serious that they take themselves. It isn't like a goofy way of approaching these different situational problems, and then they're using this to kind of world build off these elements, like the RPG elements or the MMO elements. I think I quite enjoy that. I think Sung as a character we can all relate to, and I think that's something that got me attached to him quickly, is that we're kind of feel like underdogs, or we feel like when we first start a game that we end up sucking, but it's that potential that we all have to level up, or to get to a better place, or get stronger with more and more dungeons that we raid, or more experience that we have. That's what I really liked about this character, is that we get that archetype in so many different animes. And I think that's one of the things that I really love about this, is they do it so well. Even the voice actor, I watched the English version of the anime, and man, that voice actor really did an awesome, amazing job. I watched a couple of interviews on Trash Taste, so he's pretty awesome. Apparently he's Luke on Street Fighter 6 as well, so he did a great job of voicing that character. You could really feel the grit, the emotion, the transition. If you pay attention, he goes from like this like soft nerdy voice spoken guy to this more serious tone through the series, which was a really nice little layer of detail that they added in there. Another thing I would like to mention is the fight scenes in this anime are freaking animated beautifully, and it's just not like 1 second. They're actually like 2 minutes of actual fighting, and that's what you get: sword play, you get a hand-to-hand combat, you get to have like an assassin. Like, there's so many different levels of fighting in this show that I really enjoyed. It was super entertaining, just like in JJK, where the fighting is super important, or even in Naruto or these different animes, like the fighting choreography is super important, and they really delivered on this one too. So they're doing a lot of great things in this show, from the character design, from the fight choreography, from the storytelling. Like, there's so much packed into this 12 episode show that is still one of my favorite animes that I've seen this year, although JJK is a top contender that you gotta fight with. So it's still a difficult battle there, but overall I really like this anime. Another thing that I quite enjoyed about this anime was the pacing of it. It was every single thing mattered. It didn't feel like there was filler episodes. It didn't feel like there was be time being wasted. This number one thing about me is you really have my attention, and when you have my attention, you only have it for a limited time. So for them to give me 1 through 12 and have my attention, be there the entire time, was, it goes to show the level of pacing to the show. Like, everything mattered. There was things at stake, whether it was Sung's life or whether it was like getting through a dungeon or whether it was like these different problems that needed to be solved. There was always something happening on screen, which is kind of difficult these days, eventually, since like attention spans don't last that long, especially even for myself. That's something that I really enjoy. It's, you can jump into it and you're like on a roller coaster. You're just following the emotion. I think another thing that I want to touch on is how they implemented a lot of the elements from video games. I like how they implemented like a loot system. I like how they implemented inventory system. I like how they implemented the leveling up system. Like it was really well crafted. And again, like I said, it wasn't taken as like a goofy thing. It was actually a serious, way of transitioning to the next level. No pun intended. I really like how they used it. I think that these people, enjoy video games, MMOs, RPGs, you can tell, and how they're utilizing this in the show is really, really great and fantastic. I think even towards the end, Sung actually went through character development as well. I think I really like how in the end they actually faced himself against his like kind of, I guess, insecurities or his past self, and they kind of reflected on the past and having that as an internal battle. I think that also I love that they actually had a different layer of depth into it, and it just wasn't this character going through this whole process. You're actually seeing like internal battles that he's going to be facing in the future. Hopefully we get to see season 2. I think it was announced and the trailer was announced as well, so I'm excited for that one. But I like how they were able to use his past self versus his current self and utilize it to tell a more broader story about Sung. I will say some things that I could take away from it is that it was kind of predictable at times. I think because it was right on the nose, you kind of could tell exactly what was going to happen next, which is not really a good thing to have in a storytelling thing. But I guess when you need to progress the story forward, there's gonna have to be like step by step thing. It isn't gonna be like, oh, look at this, or you're gonna be caught off guard or something. It was kind of on the nose, but they did it in a good way. It wasn't something that took me out of it. It's just like, oh, I kind of knew that was exactly gonna happen. So that was one of the criticisms that I had for the show. It's you kind of could tell what's gonna happen next. So it's just something that you're gonna have to deal with watching it, I guess. This is a really interesting character. I think that he's gonna have a lot of things that he's gonna have to go through, whether it's facing different enemies. He's creating a lot of enemies, especially since he killed the guy's brother. He's gonna have to fight an S-class hero. He's gonna have to save his mother. There's a lot of different things that he's gonna have to do along the way. But overall, I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Solo Leveling. I was really quietly impressed for this show. I would recommend anybody to go watch this. It's something that you gotta go watch right now. If you're an anime fan, if you're a video game fan, it's gonna be an exciting one for you, definitely. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.